What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video by Ducon. Today we're going to be doing starting a Let's Build series. It's not going to be the giant castle that I was promising. It is going to be a small village with a small castle in the middle. So, like, not very much castle, just like a keep. But the thing is I didn't really, the map wasn't going to be ready by the time that I want to start this, and I want to start it now. So we're just going to have to deal with what we have, and we're going to enjoy this series, or I'm going to enjoy this series. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it too. But it'll be just like any other Let's Build series. We're going to start from scratch, and we're going to go from there. So this is what we have to work with. Oh, excuse me. This is a small island, and it's out here in the water. Let me just go ahead and put some speed on so we can get around a little faster. Got to get used to this new sensitive keyboard. Slightest push, it'll type in whatever. But anyway, yes, this is the island that we're going to be working with. I went ahead and put in some trees and everything. I left a nice large spot open in here for our village. We don't want to add in yeah, it's probably going to be a fairly large sized village. The only reason it would be a large village, however, is it's going to have a fairly large dock. There's going to be some ships into it, so I'm planning on having probably 3 or 4 fairly large ships along the docks. So that'll be something that'll be fun to let's build. Maybe a couple boats around the outside as well, like maybe a small boat here. In the small inlets that you can find, just to sort of protect it from the main current of the ocean. And but anyway, yes. So today we're going to just be starting a little bit, maybe planning a little bit. We're just going to be going from point A to point B, just kind of figuring out what we want to do. So let's get back to speed 1. And so first of all, what I want to start doing is let's start with some roads. And I figure, since this is kind of like a spot where you could kind of figure, like, this is where, like, sort of like the market square would be in this area, and it would lead down and you have some docks that goes into the ocean there. So we're going to go ahead and head up this way. I'm going to build a road all the way up around here. Now, we got to put into consideration there's not much natural resources on an island of this size. There's just not enough. I mean, we might be able to have a few farms here and there, but this is not really a self-sustaining island. You need to have, basically it's like, it depends on imports to take care of it. And as you can see, they have some trees around. So that means that they haven't exactly deforested the island, and they've deforested a good bit. As you can see, there's a good bit in here that hasn't been touched, or that has been touched, I'm sorry, and that has been deforested to build. It's going to be to build this little town here. But first of all, let's go ahead and so that's where we decide the roads are going to be. And then I want the fortifications. So the fortification is basically anything that is defensive in nature. That's what this is planning out. And basically, you kind of see this little like mound in the middle of the island, and that's what I want to make into the actual portion that defends this little village here. It's not going to be anything big, substantial. It's just going to be a small little castle keep kind of thing, kind of like Redguard in a way, possibly. I might decide to terraform it a little more and then bring it up just a tad, but that is what that's going to be. And possibly we could even add in a small barracks. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to take advantage of this little molehill over here as well. And then this is going to be where the actual like barracks or training grounds are for the people. So it's not too bad size. It's a fairly nice size castle there. It technically will be a castle once we're done with it. It's gonna be fairly small. It's gonna be tiny comparatively to what a castle should be. So let's go ahead and carry the road up this way, and let's drag it up to about here and then wrap it around up the top. And so there we go. We got a fairly nice little thing here. So so what we're going to need to figure out is, while we're building this, we need to figure out how they get the resources. You know, what kind of resources would a town need, and why would they need them? How would they get there? So like, we're gonna need like the mainland, or quote unquote mainland. It's actually just a fairly larger island. So this is just like a strip of a few islands. The other island is that way, which is the largest island, and then across from that is another small island, and that's where I was building a little village for Kevin, for Pigland, over there. But yeah, there's a lot to be done. How about another little gate here, just to add some little bit of variation. So that'll be the main gate right there. That'll lead into the courtyard and stuff, and then this will lead into the actual barracks. Now, all of this is subject to change while I'm building along, but it'll be fairly set. Once I kind of have a plan down, that is what it's going to be, most likely, unless if I come up with something really substantially better than what I had before. So anyway, that is a fairly nice road design there, and then we can use the rest of this area for a few fields. Maybe make there's no need for fortifications around the town. The natural defense is the water. It would be fairly difficult to get an army over here, especially on an island this size, because yeah, even if an army comes to take this island, pretty much it's screwed one way or the other. But it does stand a pretty good chance. It is going to be a fairly nice, well fortified island. And so we also have a fairly cool, or fairly hilly portion over here. So I was thinking, what if we make this area into a quarry? Because obviously, it's going to be fairly difficult to carry stone across the water. So what I'm thinking, why don't we go ahead and grab some red, and then this will be the quarry right here. This is going to provide stone for the foundations to the houses, and provide what they need in order to build some fairly nice foundations. And also the little keep, it's mainly going to be made out of wood, but you need stone to make a nice thingamajigger. So while we're doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and call this quarry. Oh my goodness, very sensitive keyboard. Quarry. So that is what that's going to be, and we're going to go ahead. Okay, so this will be our little road here, and it drags over this way. So this can actually be a it's going to be an old quarry. It's not going to be very used, because the town's going to be already built. So it's going to be just sort of like old and run down. It's going to kind of match, or kind of blend into the actual surface of the island and everything. But yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be very nice. And we're gonna have another road down this way. So I still need to do the beach. I just actually built the beach. I just terraformed all underwater to make it a little less deep, so you can actually, it'd be believable to put some piers in and stuff for some ships. And I just started on the beach over here. It's not near done. I gotta work a whole lot on that. So but yeah, let's go ahead and check out what else can we do here. So we have a basic road, so the roads will be around like that, and we have 2 roads down. So how about another road along over here? I think what I can do is we can build a road sort of along the edge of the island here. So like something like this, just sort of maybe it can be made out of wood or something, just to sort of span it all the way across here. So what I'm thinking that this could actually be is a junction, say between one mainland and the other mainland. And this is where people would stop to resupply and all that good stuff in order to get from point A to point B. And so this can be the area between point A and point B, which would be point alpha or something. I don't know. something funny like that. I don't know. But it can be the like little junction between the two ways. We'll just pretend that that's the story. And we're going to carry another road up along here, and it's going to carry along this sort of hillside here, and it's going to go to here. So then that's going to be that connection. Now another thing is, here is a high point over here. I think what we're going to have is 2 lighthouses, because lighthouses are some fairly needful things when you're building a shipping area. Actually, we're going to build a little farther out. We're going to build it right about here. And this is going to be a lighthouse. So let's plan that. And then we're going to do the same thing over on the other side. So people can, when they're coming in to drop at this island, they want to know where the parking spot is. Kind of like when you go into a parking lot and you have the white lines. Or when you're driving in a road, you have the yellow line on the left and the white dotted line on the right or something. I don't know. Depends on where you live. You know, just basically markers to tell the ship captains to know where to go. So we're going to have another lighthouse here. And lighthouse. All right, so that pretty much does that portion. Now let's go ahead and plan the fields. What did I plan on blue? I forget what I decided what blue's going to be. So let's head over here and check out what blue is. Blue is structures. Excuse me. We'll go ahead and do that after we actually do this over here. Actually, I think we're going to do structures first. This is going to be, I think this will be the market area in here. So this is all going to be sort of like an open area. And this is where the captains will just come in and dock, and then they'll come over, grab their supplies, and go. Now, obviously, the supplies won't be from the island. They're going to be from other merchants. That's how trade works. So let's see here. This can be a house in this area. Now, some people, especially like Victor, he likes to have his foundations in a very specific manner. So kind of like, you know, like a square or a diagonal. He likes them like this. Whereas I like to have mine just kind of like open for whatever I can put there. And I actually prefer it that way because you can do a whole lot more with it, because it's not just going to be a square base or a whatever other kind of base. It's going to be fairly pretty organic. And so this here can actually be like a little storefront or something. So we can decide on this being something later on. So we're going to make that a little bigger. I'm planning this kind of the same way I did my other little city that I was, when I actually just came back to YouTube. I was building a town on single player with the Westeros craft pack. And that, I'm pretty much doing the same planning process as that. All right, so we got a little area in there that we need to do something with. I think what I'm going to do is something along the lines of the same town design as what I did on the other. It's not going to be as big, again, because of the constrictions of the island, the natural resources and everything. So it's not going to be huge, but it's going to be sort of ramshackled together and built to support a whole lot of people, but it's not going to be like really super, or whatever you want to call it. But let's have a street through here, and let's decide on a street color. How about purple? Purple's a good color. Purple and magenta, or magenta and whatever that is. I don't know what that color is. Pink, I think. Pink, I think. So there we go. And let's bring this purple all the way through, down along here, and then sort of cut down along this building. So that's going to be a little street, a little kind of like walkway between the buildings. And I think we're going to have another walkway up along there, but I want to leave that open just in case we don't have enough room for a little street there. And then this can be like a little duplex house, maybe something along the lines of like open in the middle. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do that really quick. There we go. So that's a fairly large house there. That'll work pretty nice. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. All right, so we have ourselves. You guys are looking at this and you're like, what's going on? You have no idea what's going on, but I'm pretty much a pillar equals a structure. So just think about it that way. So each of these blue pillars means that there's going to be a structure there. Purple means a road, and how about we have like a little marketplace there or something? So we'll leave that sort of open. So that's kind of like a little road area there. Let's have a house here. It's close up to the castle. That's probably not a good thing. I might actually decide to make this into more of a mansion instead, because it's not very defensive if it's like right in the middle of the town. I don't know. It'll be something along the lines of a manor, more or less. Like the richest guy on the island lives there, and that's how this town was started, etc. He decided he wanted a town one day, and voila, there's a town. I don't think it quite works that way, but yeah, so there's a town here. Or not a town. This is going to be, well, yeah, I guess this will count as a town per se. A village would be this is going to be a small town. Pretty much. All right, so we have several houses planned out over here. I guess we need another house planned out on this side. So let's put it one here. Put one here, and voila. Sweet. There's another one. And we're going to actually build a pillar here as well to represent a house as well. There we go. And we can't forget to do this, because this is going to be sort of like a little junction area. So that's all going to be a road. Because if you just have it like, you know, a T or whatever, it's kind of hard to get wagons through here. Even on an island this small, you'd still have wagons and such going through. So how about we have, so there needs to be some kind of defensive structure here. So how about like a little barracks or something here, sort of like a little place for guards to do their thing. So we're just going to make this into like a little guard tower kind of thing. Guard tower. So they can, if there's someone coming on the island that shouldn't, they can just sit up here and shoot arrows down onto them. Pretty gruesome medieval times were. And I might even decide to make a little wall all the way along this front side. Very, very small. Just a little something to keep brigadines and pirates away from getting into the actual city portion. That might actually be a good idea. I think I might do that. Might decide to build some kind of defensive wall all the way along the island. Kind of like Aldern Hill in a way. And also a cool thing about an island is another thing. I like islands because it's kind of constrictive. I mean, it's a lot better than a plot. This is a whole lot better than a plot. But, you know, you still have constrictions. That means I will maximize detailing within these constrictions. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and just do this. Again, another thing about the wall is we got to think about natural resources. And, you know, I guess it's not going to be much stone. So it has to be small because, you know, maybe it'll be a stockade with a stone base. All right, so let's go ahead and plan some farms. And I like to use yellow for farms, so let's just go ahead and do this. Now, for island soil, it would have to, this is going to be like one of the years where the soil can actually be used, because if you overuse the soil, there's really no chance for crop rotation. Actually, I might do that. I might have like, oh, that's a good idea. For an island, you need to have, for this island, I feel like it would be smart to have crop rotation. So like this one will have wheat in it, and then I'll have another one here. So we'll have a little street down the middle. Follow all the way down, and then we'll have another one over here. And so crop rotation is basically if you plant crops year after year after year, the soil will eventually become unusable. All the nutrients will be taken out of it and it will just become useless. Nothing will grow on it, and basically you've used all of the nutrients of the soil. So what I'm suggesting is it has this crop rotation thing on this island where, like, say this is going to be a field here, and then this is just going to be a bunch of dirt or some grass or something. So it's just going to be open, and then you're going to have another field here, and then we're going to have another field somewhere else, probably on the other side of that. And then that'll be the actual some crops and stuff. We're going to have a windmill on here somewhere as well. Possibly, actually, I'm not sure if I'll have a windmill. I'm not sure if a windmill is necessary. I might have a grindstone, like one of those. See, if I have a grindstone, then you need to have some sort of animals on this island. And it doesn't make sense having many animals besides chickens or whatever, because bigger animals depend on lots of grass or stuff to eat, like horses or cows. I'm going to have to, I think, put in some type of place for animals. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. Once I decide on this field here, I'm going to decide where I can put a sort of pasture for the animals. So, okay, so that's going to be a field. Okay, field and field. And then that's going to be open. Or gotta decide on where I want the fields and where I don't want the fields. Okay, so let's just... Okay, so this is actually going to be the pasture here. So we got to have sort of like a cobble wall all the way around. And... it's just going to be sort of on the outside of the island. So let's just go ahead and grab, how about some orange wool, and it's going to be all the way along the outside. So this is just going to be a little pasture for, say, some cattle and maybe a horse or two. Because if you're on an island, it's fairly nice to have some meat, and to be able to self-sustain your meat would be nice. For you vegetarians, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's pretty important to have a steady food supply. And some people like to eat meat. So there we go. That is a fairly nice portion of pasture there. So let's just go ahead and... So right now, you guys are like, oh, it's just all wool. Well, this is how it's done, guys. This is how it's done. So we're going to go pasture. So I'm doing this because I want you guys to sort of see a process. I want you to see how I get from point A to point B, and you know, the way to get there. So I want to make another road up here, and then this can be actually maybe like a little, no, we aren't gonna have a bridge there, so maybe it'll wrap around this way, come down, come up, and then maybe this can be the castle here. Oh, that's a great idea. So okay, so I'm going to take back what I did down there, and this instead is going to be the castle. It makes a lot more sense up here as well. It's away from the town, and it's fairly secluded, and you got plenty of space there, even a little place for a tower there as well. So we're going to go back over here, and we're going to make all of that orange into a town area. Same thing with that in there. It's going to be a fairly large town, because I really need a big project, and it'll be helpful to you guys. But anyway, I'm looking over at the time. We've been sitting here for 24 minutes, and so I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and stop the video, and by the time I start the next video, we are going to be developing a style, and hopefully I will have all the planning done. But yeah, right now I'm just going to destroy all these orange blocks. There we go. And all that's going to be part of the town, so that's just all going to be blue, and that's going to be all blue. A little bit of blue that way and stuff. But yeah, this is what it's going to turn out to be. So we have fields all along there. We have a pasture for all of our horses and stuff. Probably it's going to be like 2 horses and maybe like 5 cattle and a few pigs. Maybe actually have a pig pen elsewhere. But yeah, this is actually turning out quite nice. Little place for a quarry there. And really excited to start this, guys. Really excited to get it going. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really excited for this series. I hope you guys are. Please tell me in the comments if you are as well. This is going to be not what I had expected. It's not going to be a very large castle or whatever, but it will have a castle on it. And as usual, it's going to be hopefully a very nice castle. This one's going to be a keep actually, but hopefully it'll be nice for you guys. And anyways, I hope you liked this video, so please like. Love to see those thumbs up, and please subscribe, and I will definitely be coming out with a lot more videos in the future. And I hope you guys are enjoying this new quality. This shaders whole thing is like, wow. I don't know how I could ever go back from using shaders now. It's just too beautiful, so awesome to build in. And also this foliage mod. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, bye bye.